way. But we have our gear here and our usual rover design. Now let's adjust this for no reason whatsoever. There we go. That way it sort of fits the view. Now I'm changing over to stability assist. Though actually retrograde will be just fine. So we're getting close to our node, at which point we need to burn 256, which is all in this tank so far. So we can use this tank actually for a lot of the descent. We can be wasteful with our delta V. So that means we can do 2, 1, burn. We can do a lot of burning here actually. A lot of weird burns to slow down our fall, to adjust our exact landing spot, which is just fine. Okay, let's check where we're going to be landing now. That seems good. Means we over here could probably do more delta V change. Something along those lines. Yeah, that'll be fine. The green communication line in the base game, is that a mod too? Yeah, that is base game indeed. What they did was they took some ideas from a mod called Remote Tech. And Remote Tech was fairly difficult. Remote Tech is still around, by the way, but it's fairly complex. It's pretty punishing, it's relatively realistic. I will need to adjust my landing a little bit. I need to move in this direction. But yeah, they took some of those ideas and they... there we go. They took some of those ideas and they made them... They included them in the base game, which is, I think, a real good improvement. Okay, we'll want to be about there. I do have the lines to set a little bit more harshly than the base game. For me, if I get out of those green lines, if I don't have any normal contact anymore with any part of the KSC, I have no control over my probe cores. So if this rover was not in touch with any communication, it would crash and burn here. In normal game, you can set it to either still allow you full control or have partial control or be allowed to change things with antenna. You have changes. And also, of course, I'm not doing any quick saving. 3, 2, 1, burn. There we go. That should get us right in the middle of where we need to be. Let's see, we have 0.6 seconds of delta V in this stage. So what I'm going to do is decouple. Lower our landing gear. Now we're going to be fine because that thing is going to keep on picking speed, but we are going to be using our sky crane to slow our descent. 90% of features added in this game wants mods? Yep. And again, modding community, that's why they're so good. By the way, how precise is this? I love it. Burn. Now this burn never works out for me because the estimated burn always changes, see? And then your impact changes as well. But it's okay, we have more than enough fuel. So we're just gonna take it easy. It's always good when devs gives the community possibility mod, extends the lifespan of the games, yep. The lifespan and the quality. Okay, this is gonna be the most difficult one to get. kind of want to do that last, but we are closest to it, I think. This, by the way, is very inefficient landing in general. I do not recommend doing it this way, but I'm only doing this because I have so much extra delta V available to me that I really don't need to worry about fuel. There we go. We have deployment, and that thing is gonna enjoy its own little adventures. He's got a little crown too. As brake, and this thing will be renamed into a rover. The Munraker. Actually, if anyone can do me a favor, do you remember the man who would be king? What is the name of the main character again? Thank you, 420. The beautiful landing? Ah, thank you. So Alex is saying, what was my first computer? I think the first computer we had in the house was a ZX Spectrum. The first computer I owned was, I think, an old 386 that I cobbled together. You know what, we're calling it Munraker for now. That has this, that completes this quest, having a rover ready. Now, let's see. This is a mod as well, by the way. Navigation points. At least the navigation mod that I'm using for it. Yeah, see, that's in completely different direction. And we're really close to it. I think I'm gonna need to invert. Did I already do that? Let's turn off the brakes and test. Nope, we're good. We are good. So, this is a little different. Let's quick save, by the way. Can I quick save and moving? Okay, let's pause and quick save. Here I am quick saving because, as I said, I'm playing this basically hardcore mode, Diablo hardcore mode. But driving over the moon is always hideously dangerous. You can hit bits of geometry and launch yourself into the air. Temperature reminds you of how nice it really is back in Kerbal. Pressure gauge is sitting there motionless. Perhaps you should tap it a few times to be sure. Magnetometer. Very faint magnetic field is detected on the moon's surface. Seismic scan. The instrument registered a small anomaly. You aren't sure if this was a genuine seismic event or just a false positive from you shuffling your feet. Look, my feet are not that big. So rude. Also, it turns out that this thing did rotate into the sun, so all the effort we took to get a fuel cell on here to keep it alive in a dark area was not even needed. Daniel Draveau and Peachy Carnan. That's it. Oh, yes. Oh, man. Yes. Ah, those are the names. We will call this the Peachy. There we go. I just had to think of it because the decoupler was stuck on it as though it was a crown. Obviously, Peachy wasn't the one who went insane. It was Daniel, but I just like Peachy more. And plus, who was it? Michael Caine played him in the movie, wasn't it? Movie version, it's not as good as the story, but still pretty nice. Why don't you keep Rover with the lifting stage? Oh, that thing on top. Oh, there we go. We're here already. What do we need to do? Hold on, let me get the signs thing. What do you want me to do? Rover deployment is done. Conduct seismic surveys. Okay. Wait, get in there. We need to do seismic surveys. There we go, that's where we put it. Log seismic data. Boom. Instrument registers a small anomaly. You aren't sure if this was generic seismic span? Yeah, that's the same thing. What is the nearest? 2.8 kilometers, 1.1 kilometers, 1. Okay, let's head on over there. Then once we're rolling, I can have a check back with chat. There we go. And again, quick saving in case we get... Oh, right. Break. Quick save. Just for any weird little geometric thingies. Okay, 2 minutes. Let's have a read. Byronic, why did you keep the rover with the lifting stage? I mean, I guess I could keep that up there if I wanted to. I find it dangerous that it makes it top heavy, though. And I'm not intending to use it to reposition the rover, even though that might actually be a good idea. I don't know, I just figured it to be a little bit risky. And plus, this was a rover for a very specific mission anyway. Size mods mice doesn't always show what you're still missing in a biome you are. Yeah, there's 2 of them. That's what makes them so darn useful. There's this one, which is X signs, the generic one. And that allows you to just go, land, what am I missing? Oh, okay. What do I need to go to the Highlands? Oh, there's a bunch of stuff that I can still do in the Highlands. And tells you exactly what you've done, where it is, what you can still do. And this one, the other one, that always tells you exactly where are you and what can you do right now. And it gives you a button to click it right away, so you don't have to go to the part and then go and click log. I like that. So, log that seismic data and keep it. Oh, no, sorry. I was too quick. Let's break. There we go. Had you scared, didn't I? Because Byronic and Alex are around the same age as you are? Yeah, probably. Ingeborg's first computer was a ZX Spectrum 2. Nice. Opening box with your dad, looking for an old suit, and in one of them you found the Spectrum. Ah. Joseph Core program from the radio on cassette tape. Was quite a thing. Oh, yeah. So for one, ZX Spectrums, I think they're worth a lot to collectors, yeah. They're, people have pretty fond memories of them. But yeah, record programs from the radio and cassette tape. Yep. And of course, that mind-blowing moment where you got a radio that had 2 cassette decks, so you could copy one cassette tape to the other one. That was wonderful. As was the moment where my brother and I discovered that if you... Oh god, see what I mean? Come on, little rover. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Whew. There we go. Ho. That was a good little rover. Oh my god, nothing broke? What button is that again? Does anyone know? F8? F12? No, not F12, I think. F8? How do you get that screen again? It tells you what broke. Yep, mun drifting. If you use high-speed dubbing, you could only do it once reliably. Yep. Yeah, those mun seams. Ah. Fast and Furious, the mun edition. Now that would be amazing. I could probably make a jet-propelled car, but it would also kill the Kerbal. Okay, on a visual inspection, I think we're good. But this is exactly why I had those spare solar panels on there. Let's break. Quick save. And go for it. Oh wait, I was throttling up, but this thing doesn't use the throttle. This is why I tend to stay under 10 meters per second. Just because if you reach one of those little seams and it does launch you into space, now, at lower than 10 seconds, I've rarely really had a catastrophic failure. I'm thinking it might be cool to have a bunch of gears on this end as well, so that if it flips over, you just lower these and you raise those. This is so awesome, though. Driving a rover across the surface of a moon. It's stupid, but still, every time I do this, it just gives me that feeling of what would it be like to be on a different body in our solar system. Imagine being one of those human beings who set foot on a place that wasn't the Earth. Remember being amazed that you would install the silly little game from your floppy disk and play after you took the disk out. Oh, yes! Whoa. That was a little jump. Yeah, that was so amazing. But how does that work? It's on the disk. Yes, but you installed it. Yeah, but I'd need the disk, right? While I'm playing? And of course, the amazing CD-ROM. Its size was unequaled. Do you remember having the little, not the real floppy disks, you know, the old black ones, the classics, but the smaller ones, the hard plastic ones? Do you remember when you had to install something and it was 50 different floppy disks and you're just sitting there listening to that noise like insert disk 23. And you click it, and you click the other thing in, and you go back to reading your book, waiting for the thing to just PK unzip. It's kind of scary that you buy a calculator now and they have like 1,000 times the processing power than their first computers. Oh, way more than 1,000. From what I understand, even the Apollo 11 rockets didn't really have that much processing power. When it comes down to it, our mobile phone is so much more powerful than everything that went into the rocket. And yet they made it to the moon. The floppy stiffies. Look, I don't know if it made your floppy drive a hard drive, but I wasn't that interested. Oh yeah, now's a great time to fill out your registration cards. Okay, little Peachy. You're doing peachy. Peachy keen. Okay, careful. There we go. Now, get ready for that lovely, lovely science reward. Log that seismic data. Boom. Conduct seismic surveys. Oi, 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 oi. Give me that info. That is 132,000 next to the 20,000 per actual scan that we're getting. Booyah. Now, here's a cool thing we can now do. Remember one of the reasons why I liked Kerbalism over the other mods? It was scripting. So one thing we're doing is, I don't want any information anymore whether your battery is low. We're fine. I just want to know whether you're breaking down. But there's basic scripting. So what I want to do is, the solar panels are fixed. The batteries are also fixed. So I'm going to keep these open. These supply enough power. Because as you look, the battery is perpetual. But what if we reach darkness? Well, if we're in sunlight, I want the fuel cell to be turned off. I don't need the fuel cell to be active. But if we're in shadow, I want the fuel cell to be turned on. That way, whatever happens, this thing is going to be okay power-wise. We might even say, if we're at low power, I want the fuel cell to be turned on. If we're at high power, I want the fuel cell to be turned off. That way, whenever this thing is getting in trouble, the fuel cell will kick in and save it. Now, in the meantime, we can start transmitting the signs this baby has gotten. And rest assured that it will do fine. Space Center. So Salty, like the Magic Band cassettes, you had like 2 gigabytes of space on them, but reading a specific data you need took forever. You make a video to introduce a new version of our software. You also show how to install. Takes a while, and then one time said, "Now's a great time." Sentence. Turns out not every colleague is old enough to get that joke. Aww. I had that when I was teaching a bunch of students just basic English vocabulary. And we had a warm-up exercise, which was a little fill in the gap about the .com bubble. So there were just a bunch of simple words in there. Like, you know, in 2000 something something, a lot of people got great, you know, revenue, blah, 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 e-commerce, and simple words like that. And a bunch of students were struggling filling that in. I was like, oh, come on. It's the .com bubble. It's not that difficult. And then one of the students looked at me and said, look, I was 3 back then. I was like, oh my God. That's the first moment where I started feeling old. Okay, what do we have? We have a bunch of small fuel engines at the 90 thing. 90 points. This might be good. This gets us some science. Storage technology might be fun. Okay, this is extra science. Oh, finally. The foldable photovoltaic panels. Although, if you think about it, we don't really need those yet unless we're landing on a planet and taking off again. We haven't done anything with atmosphere yet. Now, these will be pretty good for getting in touch with other planets. And these are pretty handy because they give us the last bunch of surface experiment things, which we should kind of do the next time we get to the Mun, because I want to make a 3-person lander for the Mun, just for fun. Precision engineering. Oh, there we go. That gets us more options for the chemical plant. And gets us a bunch of our first colonization gear. More science though, so that's good. Some explosives. And mystery goo. Finally we get mystery goo. This is one of the first things for actual settlement. But this gives us a lot of science opportunities. This is actually a real good one to get. Ooh, Fub had a course and one of the people had an iPhone case shaped like a cassette tape. Not everyone present knew what that was either. Ooh, ouch. So these are the bunch of rovers that you get with the colonization stuff. So this will need to start making, building what we need to get our Minimus. Oh, it's a science sample. Get our Minimus base going. I'm just trying to explore and see what we should buy. To be honest, secretly, I kind of want the high altitude flight because it gives us the Whiplash turbo ramjet engine. It's not going to get us fully into space, but we can start building the first space planes with that. Actually, getting those together, this gets us parts for a space shuttle. It would be real cool if we start building an orbital base to get a space shuttle to do general upgrades. But these are the things we need. The Ranger ball hub, attachment points, these cradles, those are the things we need to start real colonization. All these other things, these little packets, airlocks, those are pretty useful as well. Those are meant to give it structure. For the rest, there's fuel, and maybe we'll start needing a mainsail, actually. The choices. I kind of want to make a jet plane, though. Let's see about mission control. What we have now. So, they want us to go to Minmus. Return to Kerbal from orbit of Minmus. That's easy, we can do that. We'll just make a better lander and go to Minmus. They want us to launch a new rover to the Mun. We can already do that, so let's do that. We'll oh god, what do we just accept? That was not the one I was selecting. Build new service outpost in Minmus. Okay, explore Minmus. Okay, I don't know. Rover deployment on the Mun. Accept. Rover expedition. They want Peachy to move to new places to get me 30k. Yeah, sure, let's do that. Oh, there we go. That's some flight reports in Kerbal. Let's go ahead and do that as well. Rescue a new Kerbal. We can easily do that. Surface outpost in the Mun, maybe. And conduct a specific seismic reading near the Expeditious. Yeah, we can do that. We can take all of the quests. Maybe, though, a surface outpost on the Mun? That's going to be tricky. It's going to be real tricky. "14 Kerbals. We get 14 years to do it, though. The outpost must be on motorized wheels? Really? So they want to make us. They want us to make a giant rover. You know what? We can do this. Maybe not now, but we'll do this in the long run. For atmosphere flight, try procedural wings mod. Yeah, I don't think I have that one. I've heard good things about it, though. Oh my god. Indy just used the kitty litter. And it's spreading. It's spreading through the room. Oh god. I'm gonna need an old priest and a young priest. Okay. Ugh, manning up. Oh god, Indy. That is horrifying. These are the difficult decisions. I could get 320, 410. I could get 2 160 nodes. And then one of the 90 nodes. And it does get me a lot of new cores. But particularly, I don't know, the 90 nodes right now aren't that specifically relevant. These aren't directly useful, but they're cool. Advanced Electrics gets us more science things. You know what? We're gonna get plenty of science anyway. You know what we're gonna do? I want to go and try and build a space plane. So we're gonna be buying these. Done. Now this is the hypersonic flight. This, the Rapier engine, and the shock cone intake, these toroidal ones. Those are the ones I need to make a real single stage to orbit thing. See, this one uses liquid fuel and oxidizer already. This one can use liquid fuel and oxidizer as well, but look at those. 276 at surface level, 305 in vacuum, 340 in vacuum. These are the ones I really need to get into orbit. But these pre-coolers, the supersonic intakes, and these turbo ramjet engines, they'll do pretty good. They'll do pretty good. Now that we have that, let's also get some stuff to make a larger one, to get cargo bay things in there as well. The rest gets us heavy aerodynamics, which really is a shuttle-sized plane. Look at those huge cargo bays. They're super useful. Cargo ramps as well.